Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here. My name is Death by Pony. It's been a while since I played Our Life, so I haven't seen this footage in a while. Don't know what's going to happen. Let's find out together, shall we? Alright, now we go into the new DLC for Baxter. So we already read through that, but now that I have a whole new save, we can do the hang, which I'm not even sure what it's for, but we're going to find out. Uh, the stars had magically aligned and somehow everybody was free today. But it was more than just luck. You owed it all to Miranda's determination. She set things up over several phone calls to find the perfect window to hit the beach. You couldn't wait to meet up with... We're including Baxter. Coordinating schedules had been especially rough lately, but you didn't let that stop you from organizing your grand plan. You wanted your new friend to be included in all the fun. After a bit of messaging with the others, you had brought up the possibility of adding Baxter to the mix. No one objected to your request, so you and Terry swiftly put his phone number to good use. Baxter had been flattered to be thought of that early in the planning stage. Funnily enough, he'd been the easiest one to account for, despite being far and away the newest guy on the block. Baxter was able to rearrange his schedule to whatever everyone else needed, and you and Terry relayed the message details to Cove and Miranda later. Your hopes were high. Almost everybody knew each other to varying degrees, but this would be Miranda and Baxter's first time meeting. And yet, you weren't that worried. Deep down, you had a pretty good feeling that they'd get along once they got to spend a little time together. That was where things stood. Baxter would be coming by your room any minute now to meet up ahead of time. You'd see them all soon, but Cove was a little alone time with Baxter. He's supposed to be our love interest for this run, so let's have a little alone time with Baxter. The prior evening, Baxter texted you for advice. He had been caught between his options. Should he come to you, or just hang back and you'd come get him when your friends were ready? You eased his troubles by simply inviting him to your house. You'd thought it would be nice to hang out with him before the official hangout. Checking the clock, there was a small window to get ready before Baxter arrived. Despite it being well past morning, you were wearing your pajamas. You had known you didn't have anywhere to be until the beach trip had a lazy start to the day, but still. We needed to get dressed. We're going to the beach, so swimsuit. You knew it was clean and folded in one of your drawers. It was more a question of which one you searched. You couldn't help your mind wandering. Your height had complicated shopping a little. Not all suits were made properly to fit people like you. And then for the shape of your body. Generally medium. And there's some muscle, a little bit of muscle, soft, delicate. No. I have little muscle definition in real life, but I'm going to be buff. It was clear how solid you were built, and the dense muscles were visible without having to flex them. You had gained more muscle in recent years. It was clear when compared to how you were when you were younger. Staring down at yourself, your train of thought drifted until you were lost. You always felt sure about your gender. You wondered if your gender was really something you felt right about. We're playing a dude in this one, so we're just always gonna feel sure about that. Being called him was right for you, and you had a naturally fat chest. That's the way you wanted to be. Generally wore a padded bra over your chest. You had breast augmentation surgery. You left it like that, but were considering options for it. You used padded bra for now, but intended to get surgery later. Nah, we're leaving it. People had a lot of their identity wrapped up in their physical form. It shaped their self-image. Confident, comfortable, weren't really content with yours, hated your body, your gender dysphoria. We're gonna be comfortable. Give this one a little break. Your body was you, and it was good. It was a good one that you felt content in. You used to not feel good. You used to not feel as good when you were younger, but you had since grown into your body. You felt more at home now and less uncomfortable. It wasn't until a steady knock fell against the door that you snapped back into the present. Baxter was already here. You hadn't even changed yet. You knew that you couldn't just ignore him. Pivoting towards the door, you straightened your PJs. Come in. Welcome to my hectic morning. The knob wiggled, and then the door glided open. Baxter cordially stepped in, catching your eye with an already developed grin.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, James. I must tell you again how touched I am by your thoughtfulness. You didn't have to open your door to me and play host even before our scheduled plans. And truthfully, I'm taking the fact that I'm allowed to be standing here as a fortunate sign. A neighbor at most would be set aside in the living room if they were welcomed in the home in the first place. With a wave of your hand, you moved as if you were giving him a grand bow. But of course you're more than only a neighbor. Neighbors are important in this town anyway. But hi, this is my bedroom. Baxter nodded graciously and inched towards letting his gaze curiously examine the new space. He noticed his posture relaxing longer he was there. A telescope that's very nice. Thanks, I like it too. Baxter shifted his attention back to you directly for a split second. His gaze flickered down your outfit, and his polite exterior faltered.
Apologize.
I have to wonder, did I perhaps arrive early? My mistake, truly. Your knee-jerk confusion at the comment quickly melted away. His discretion over your pajamas was appreciated. He squinted, scrutinizing his fully dressed. But wait, you weren't dressed either. Are you planning on still changing into a swimsuit? Or are you going like that? Why did you come here before getting dressed? We'll ask him. The latter. Baxter answered with such ease that you honestly couldn't tell if it was a joke or not. While I'm certainly looking forward to spending the afternoon on the beach with all of you, I will not be getting into the ocean. There was more than a hint of instance in his tone, and it was completely unexpected from the up-for-anything mouth of Baxter Ward. He carelessly ran his fingers through his hair and left it messier than usual, no Devori in his town. What if I get a sunburn? We're likely to spend multiple hours there. I'm not risking making this situation even worse by exposing my entire chest and my legs to the summer sun. By this, Baxter meant his delicately pink skin. He expressed that by holding his bare arms out towards you. Have you ever been in the ocean? You laughed. You're such a tourist. I had no idea you were sensitive about that. It's good to know. Don't worry, I understand why you'd be uncomfortable with that. Well, let the man be comfortable. When you didn't add anything else, Baxter stared at you oddly. He was clearly expecting pushback, but you shrugged instead. Sunburns in summertime of California are no joke. When I was in school, there'd be at least one person who came back from summer vacation completely fried every year. You laughed. You watched Baxter settle again. I'm delighted to hear that's something we can agree on. I confess, I haven't actually swum in the ocean at any point to any degree. Really? Never? Never. The detail was hard to wrap your brain around. Your moms had been taking you to the beach since you were a toddler. Well, I don't mind if we stayed on land. I think you ought to give it a try while you can. It'll be okay. Are you sure? I'd love to show you what the beaches and sea are really like. If that was it, he really wasn't going to do it and pouted over the loss. You certainly wouldn't wear one. I'd really appreciate if you were considered. You shrugged the situation without another word. I kind of want to do this one. Baxter laid a hand across his heart and his lips curled into a smirk. I apologize for the misunderstanding. You so completely ignore what I said previously. I'll certainly wear a swimsuit. The shine in his eyes matched the gleam in yours, and yet he remained firmly rooted in place. Baxter was clearly in no rush to leave. Chuckling, you were delighted that Baxter wanted to hang out with you just as much as you wanted with him. Unfortunately, neither of you could afford to dawdle much longer. It was time to get ready already. Sorry, but we both should change. Uzziah, you shoot him out. We're kind of cutting things close. No need to apologize. Should have kept a better eye on the clock. I'll see you soon. I'll gladly go dress myself properly for the occasion. I'll meet you outside in front of the house. Please excuse me. And on that note, Baxter sauntered out. Once the door was firmly shut, you raced around your room to get ready. One piece, two-piece tankini, wetsuit, swim trunks, leave something up to the imagination. Hesitating by the door, you scanned the room one last time. You mentally ran through the list of things you might need later. Wait, what else was there? He later goggles, grabbed full swimsuit to wear as well. Goggles. Just in case we go somewhere. That settled, you were officially ready to leave and meet up with Baxter. Stepping onto the street, you surmised that Baxter wasn't finished as fast as you. He wasn't there, but that absence didn't mean you were alone. Cove stood outside his house with his eyes glued to his phone. He tapped out a message just before spotting you. Hey! He raced across the street and skidded to a stop at his side. I'm here! Have you seen Baxter?
No.
Not yet. The two of you appeared at Baxter's condo, but there was no sign of him. Cove rubbed the back of his neck. I just walked out, and then Terry texted me, her Miranda should be here pretty soon. They're almost on schedule, I hope. Cove smiled. Cove's smile bent amusingly. He shrugged. I believe in them. Want to check on Baxter? Nodding, Cove double-checked his phone. Satisfied with what he saw, he slid it back into the pocket of his swim trunks. Cove's fairly neutral attitude on the topic of Baxter didn't escape your notice. He tended to get uncomfortable whenever Baxter surprised or flustered him, but since things were pre-planned and for an event favorable to Cove, he didn't seem bothered. Cool, let's go.
Sure.
Okay. The two of you walked unhurried up the street. You hopped up to the doorstep and rang the bell. A few seconds passed and you shifted your weight on your feet while you waited. But Baxter didn't answer. The pause extended until things reached the point you felt awkward hovering in front of his shut-up home. You spun towards Cove and he returned your nervous stare with a smile. At least you could take solace in the fact that mild misery had company. There were only a couple options for you to pick up. You could either ring the doorbell again, or you could send him a text. You reached for your phone, but a sudden noise came through the wood and made you stop. Ah! He looks hot. Finally, the door cracked over and Baxter peeked through. He then swung the door the rest of the way out to reveal another entry of signature grayscale style. Baxter had unsurprisingly changed into black and gray swim trunks. He paired the trunks with an unbuttoned white shirt, and the corners of your mouth curved into amusement to his decision.
Nice to see you.
Good afternoon. I can't thank you both enough for waiting.
Hey.
Hello. Still worried about getting sunburnt? Wow, what took you long? We were waiting forever. Looking good. Shyly looked down. You waved. Looking good. With a flick of your wrist, you added finger guns to your comment. Baxter grinned delightfully and gestured to his ensemble. In this thrown together look, thank you. The atmosphere had become far more laid back. Cove was the one to move things forward. So I was thinking we could get settled to the beach now and Terry and Miranda can catch up with us there.
I can do that.
I second that idea. While this neighborhood is charming, I think a change in scenery would be preferable. Then we're all in agreement. Our beach day begins now. You exuberantly pointed in the direction of the beach while Cove paused to shoot off a quick update. He made sure to let the others know where exactly where to find you. He flashed a thumbs up as soon as the message was sent, and with that, the three of you strode down the street. The path you walked was as natural as breathing for you and Cove. For Baxter, it was a brand new experience. Though you might not have been able to tell, he walked straight on with certainty in his steps that was on par with the locals. The ocean stretched as far as the eye could see. It was perfect day. Clear sky, rolling waves, and an inviting breeze coming across the water to combat the balmy heat. Cove threw his towel down and smoothed out the corners while you settled on a spot for your own things. Nearby, Baxter, meanwhile, hesitated, merely watching as what you two had done. Before you could say anything, Baxter moved forward and picked a small stretch of beach close to yours for his own things. He meticulously laid out his pure black towel over the warm white sand. Turning away, you tried to hold back behind your laughter. It was just so convenient that, even here, in his black and white color scheme was inescapable. Baxter stared right ahead, hypnotized by the moving water, and carefully lowered himself onto the towel. For your family and your neighbors, the ocean was an old and well-loved friend, but witnessing the wonder dancing through Baxter's eyes reminded you just how vast and awe-inspiring the sight truly was when it was right in front of you. You glanced at Cove, realizing that he was taken in by that side of Baxter as well. This beach was a special place for the people of Sunset Bird. Now it was working its magic on Baxter. Cove seemed flattered by the awe and unspoken approval written all over Baxter's face. The sea meant more to him than even the others living there. To appreciate it was to accept him. He hugged his knees to his chest. So, what did you want to do? When you didn't answer, Baxter tore his focus away from the water. He was pleasantly surprised to find out that Cove had directed that question to him instead. Oh, I've been running on the assumption that you all had something in mind. Whatever it is works for me. We don't. Nope, no ideas.
Honestly.
Then truthfully, I'd prefer to stay as dry as possible. Taking a stroll or simply remaining here where we are enjoying the scenic view would make a perfect afternoon in my book. But my want shouldn't interfere with yours. I won't stop anyone from having fun in the water. We're at the shore and I'm not heartless. Cove messily brushed hair back and thought about Baxter's idea of beach trip, his snicker rolling a rumbling laugh. I guess you're not going to make much use of that swimsuit. It's already served me rather well, I think. Between the playful way Baxter's brow arched, his mouth crooked, Cove stopped laughing. He stared back, stunned. Personally, I want to go swimming. I think I'll get my feet wet. I plan on getting some sun anyway. A stroll sounds nice. He shrugged. Just get your feet wet. That's nice, especially with how hot it can get out here. Yeah, sounds like a pleasant idea. You hummed in response and wiggled your feet in the soft sand until they were buried. The layer your toes reached was much cooler than the top layer and sent a small shiver up your spine. Cove kicked his heels, slinging some grains of sand that had gone on his towel sailing. He had done well starting the conversation, but now he was unsure how to keep it going. Luckily, it didn't take long until you heard shouts. You turned your head to see both Miranda and Terry running straight for you. Miranda was faster, making leaps and bounds across the sand. Terry followed in her wake, laughing with her towel clutched around her shoulders and flowing like a cape. Miranda started making her jumps more theatrical and more precarious as she got closer. Cove waved them on with a bright grin. You shouted greetings, you cheered at their antics, you waved too, you laughed, shook your head, you hoped they wouldn't fall. Laugh. They always found a way to make such a memorable entrance. The two officially arrived at your little group setup and looked completely ready for an ocean adventure. They were already in their swimwear and were raring to go. Awkwardly, Cove pointed in Baxter's direction. He remembered that Miranda hadn't actually seen him before. That's Baxter. The strange young man's presence nearly suddenly made a lot more sense to her. Miranda shyly waved with a cheerful smile. Hi, nice to meet you. Likewise. Baxter offered her a handshake and Miranda grew confused at this formal gesture, checking reactions of her friends on if she was the weird one for thinking this was weird. That only made his smile widen. I can assure you that I'm harmless. He knew Miranda well enough to recognize the worry she was trying to hide behind a more collected front. It was easy to imagine that she might felt somewhat intimidated. Baxter had an air of maturity about himself, while Miranda was a bit childish and shy in comparison. Hesitantly, she clasped his hand and gave him a proper shake. Thank you for meeting us here today.
My pleasure.
It's my pleasure. Baxter placed his other hand gently on the back of hers. While he spoke, they both let go and Terry spun forward.
Buddies.
Hello, hello. She teasingly punched Baxter's upper arm. Nice to see you too. Terry had already made her dramatic introduction to him at the start of summer, so she was excited to skip right to the good part, peeking out. The B-Man is actually here. I can't believe how long it took for everybody to get together. Hi, Cove, and James too. Hey, catch us up. Did we miss anything important? Other than Baxter appearing in the neighborhood, it's been totally normal. You shrugged like Cove. You gave a vague answer. You had to give a recap of what your family was doing. What have you been up to? Baxter. That's probably a good thing. We might not be so lucky with the next big thing that comes our way. Terry crossed her arms and nodded sagely. Baxter tugged at the collar of his shirt. Really, my presence is the only earth-shattering big news being whispered about?
I mean,
it's not that big. Everything is just even smaller. Not a lot happens besides some new people and longer wait times at touristy places and towns. Sunset Bird can be as predictable as Cove Holden. Hey, Well, hopefully I'm a welcome change of pace during my stay here. Absolutely. Terry then started talking about her morning and how she almost overslept since she had stayed up too late last night and she bounced on her feet as she spoke. But don't worry about me being tired today. You know I ran on lists back during school. Miranda filled in the group about her morning. Apparently, everything had gone smoothly. She met up with Terry on the way here, and you knew the rest. Cove offered a suggestion to the gang. Hey, let's walk while we catch up.
Okay.
Oh, definitely. You felt pleased that Cove remembered that you wanted to do what you wanted to do. Sometimes he could be thoughtful like that. Once everyone's stuff was settled on the beach, the group strolled over the shoreline, and the wet sand was cool under your feet. A wave rushed up over your ankles in the water. You flinched from the suddenness of it, but the next wave you were acclimated. You took another step forward and sank a little into the ground. Behind you, your footprints were soon smoothed by the waves. Your friends chatted as you all walked together. Baxter remained at a distance to stay dry. You took turns pointing out cool shells, pieces of sea glass. It was a relaxing jaunt. Hours passed and the group had moved between different activities, some low-key and some more exhaustive. For you, it was break time. Baxter agreed. You sat on your towel, sipping at some water, and he rested on his. Your friends were hard at work burying Terry's body under a pile. Miranda used her arms to force sand around Terry's sides. Cove worked on covering Terry's feet. You took another drink and glanced over at Baxter. He was staring at the water, but there was an entirely different feeling radiating from him. Rather than pure awe, there was a level of discomfort marrying Baxter's expression. You wondered what was bothering him. Suddenly, he turned towards you as if he could feel your curiosity prodding at him. He surprised you with a kind smile. I'll stop that there. Also, I'm sorry I'm terrible at reading. I don't know what's been up with me lately, but it's been a little bit hard for me to read. So, I catch y'all next time. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, remember to like. That way I know you're enjoying the content I'm making. Hit subscribe. That way YouTube brings you back here to see what happens next. I don't want to take up any more of your time. Have a good day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.